So Ballybur was built in 1588, so over 400 years ago, and it was built by the Comerford clan, and they would have built it originally, and there would have been a few castles dotted around the area. It came in from it's a Norman castle, and I suppose it's stood the test of time. It's one of the only castles in the whole throughout Ireland that is in this sort of condition. And when we found it, we bought it in the late 70s. My family would have come to Ireland, and my dad is Scottish. He's an engineer, and he just decided he would love to take on. This was his baby. I suppose it was his project, and they just came across it. My mum's an artist, and they just decided that that's what they'd like to put their life's work into. What they thought would take them 5 years initially took them well over 25 to get it back up into its former glory. We're literally based outside Kilkenny City, less than 10 minutes drive, and Kilkenny City is the medieval capital of Ireland. So all around the place, there's not just castles, there's history, there's arts, there's culture. It's fantastic for festivals. So it's a fabulous place to stay, especially if you're interested in getting to know the area a little bit more or immersing yourself in culture. It's brilliant for that. So it's fantastic. It is a beautiful place to stay. And I suppose my job now is to take my family's baby to the marketplace and show the rest of the world what they've put their life to. So we're hoping to get Ballybur up and running as a small weddings venue, so for unique intimate ceremonies, and we have space for up to 26 people altogether. The castle is spaced over 5 floors, and there's all sorts of unique little cubby holes and like little dungeons and galleys and things like that. So it's just a lovely place to stay and really immerse yourself, bring yourself back into 1588, live like they did back then. When my parents first found it, it was 1979. The area was dotted with little cowsheds all around, remains of old settlements that would have originally lived here. So I suppose the lord of the manor, John Comerford, would have owned the land before they were kicked out to Connacht, when the English came in and took over and kicked out all the Irish and sent them all west to the Badlands over there and took over the castle. Supposedly Oliver Cromwell blew the top off the castle in a fit of rage with a cannonball from the top of the lane here. So that's probably its most historic piece. So when we took it on, there was nothing. It was just bare 4 walls. There was no roof. Everything was a crumbly building, basically. And so we've always teased my parents about taking on crumbly buildings. I remember being really small, myself and my younger brother, coming up here on the weekends and just digging around, and it was constant rubble, really. Do you know, the floors, the original beams are left on the first, the ground floor, just the roof of that and the next floor up. So those are original beams, but aside from that, there was nothing. We used to have planks gone from one beam to the other, and we'd run across, health and safety and all that, like, you know, but we used to run across those to get to the other side of the room. So when you see it now, it's amazing what they've done with the place and managed to get it back into somewhere that people can even be, you know, never mind stay, and get used to what it would have been like to live in those days. A couple of years back, my dad got really ill, and he, about 4 years ago, he had a triple aortic aneurysm, so he lost a leg and he ruptured his stomach 10 centimetres there, so he had a really bad illness and he was in ICU for a long time. And I suppose at that stage I was stretched. I had a small baby and I was working full time at the time. I wasn't managing here, he was, do you know. So that time when we had to try and pull together, firstly to keep the place going, but also care for him as well when he was really sick. And I suppose that was when we had to make a decision: do we sell it, or do we let it go, or will we have the capacity to even, you know, take it on and keep it going the way it is. So that was probably the hardest part. We didn't know if he'd even manage, so it's heart-wrenching for him as well, you know, from coming from a really healthy man that's built this place basically, to not being able to come up the stairs, do you know. So for him it was tough, like, because it was his baby, and there was a point where we kind of thought the only option was going to be to sell the place, and we were going to put it on the market. But that was a bit gut wrenching, and I suppose that's the moment when I decided, no, I don't want that to happen. I hadn't really much interest in taking it on before that, or hadn't even considered it to be what path I would go. But I'm glad that I did, and it's been a really exciting adventure already. Even just the small little things, and it's a slow process, but yeah, it's exciting now to get the place out there and get it seen by people. But there's so many nooks and crannies, like that's part of the charm, and that's what people love. Like, if you want to come and stay in a 5-star hotel, it's not the place that you're going to love, but if you want to go off the beaten track and you love walking trails, or you want to really immerse yourself in Irish culture and find kind of the odd little places to go, and like there's a really cool place just up around the corner which is an organic apple farm, and they're the only gin distillery in Ireland, and they make vodka up there as well. So literally it's only up the road, but there's a tree farm, and they have a train that goes around it. Like, so there's all these quirky little things to do that if you don't want to just do your package tour, this is the place to come and stay, because we're so centrally located as well. Dublin is an hour and a half, Cork is 2 hours, Waterford is 40 minutes, so you're really close to all the other places, and you can travel Ireland and base yourself here. We'd have a lot of people that stay for a week or 2 weeks and use it as a base to travel further afield. So we really want to specialise. We want to be really good at what we do, and we want to just provide that unique experience for people. We just want people to be able to come and experience what it is to live in a place like this. If people love it as much as I do, then they'll be dying to come and stay. So